As the moderator said, we are Bermaz Auto Berhad. We do Mazda cars in Malaysia. We are the distributor, official distributor of Mazda cars in Malaysia and also in the Philippines market. We started this business in 2008, 2008, and today we are, I think, in the 11th year of our business doing Mazda cars in Malaysia. In 2013, we started our business in the Philippine market. That's our chairman, executive chairman, Dato Sri Benyo. He is a well-known industry veteran in the motor business for the last 40 years. He started his career in Proton. He was the Proton head of international sales, and he grew the business successfully. And he was, I think, he managed to export about 60,000 cars at the height when Proton in those heydays. And of course, we were also instrumental in building up the Hyundai brand from 1999 to 2004, where we were number one in the passenger division in Malaysia. We beat even Toyota those days. So we, of course, at that time the company was owned by Berjaya. So Berjaya sold the Hyundai business to Sam Darby. Today Hyundai is under Sam Darby Motors. And myself, I'm a chartered accountant from Australia. I joined the motor business in 1999, and I was a part of the Berjaya team that helped Dato Sri Benyo to build the Hyundai and also the Mazda franchise. 2.5 years ago, the management team, including myself and Dato Sri Benyo and Dato Amir Hamzah, which is our partner, we bought out Berjaya's block as part of our MBO team in 2.5 years ago. And today, we run it as a management team. Our biggest shareholders are the three biggest pension funds in Malaysia, which is the EPF, Co-op, and also the PNB group of companies. Today, we are the only two executives on the board. The other 6 are all independent directors. And we have 2 ladies on the board. I explained to you earlier on who we are. We are doing Mazda. So I'll just go straight to the corporate structure. This is our corporate structure. We have Bermaz Auto. This is the listed entity. And we have our 100% owned subsidiary, which is Bermaz Motor. This company is the main official distributor of Mazda cars in Malaysia. And then we have Bermaz Motor Trading. This is our retail arm. We have 13 retail centers all over mainly in the Penang area and also Klang Valley. Okay, and we have 2 body and repair shop facilities, one in Klang Valley and one in the Penang region. As you know, as more and more cars on the road, the possibility of the cars, crashing the parts or whatever. So that's the reason why we set up this body and paint shop, because the business is quite lucrative in terms of very high margin business. But of course, investment cost is so very high, at the tune of about 4 million for each body and repair paint shop facilities. On the right, we have Bermaz Motor International. That's an investment holding company that house our investment in the Philippine market, where we have Bermaz Auto Philippines. We own 60.4% of that company. The rest are owned by management and some dealers, and also Berjaya Philippines Inc. But they're all minorities, so we are the majority shareholder there. And on the right, this is a very important cog in our whole system here. This is Mazda Malaysia. We have a joint venture with Mazda Japan. Okay, we are the second joint venture partner of Mazda Japan worldwide after China. Okay, and we own 30%. Mazda Japan owns 70%. The reason why we give them a bigger stake is so that they make sure that this market is relevant to Mazda Japan. So today, as we speak, we are part of their worldwide system in terms of manufacturing. So every month, they do review the business in Malaysia by the top and senior management, and also their board of directors. And it's been a very lucrative one for them since the joint venture started in 2013. On the right is Innocom Corporation Berhad, Sdn Berhad. Now that is majority owned by Sime Darby, 56%. Bermaz Auto owns 29%, and the balance 15% is owned by Hyundai Motor Company of Korea. Okay, Hyundai Motor Company has been in this joint venture for a long, long time. Okay, since its inception in the 1990 when it was under Berjaya Corp at the time. Okay, I'll explain to you about this so-called structure, how this fit into the overall business of Bermaz Auto Berhad. So this is Innocom plant, it's in the middle of nowhere, up in the state of Kedah. And these are the whole plant, it entails about 110 acres. There's still a big piece of land at the back and on the side here, about 90 acres, which is not being utilized. So in other words, if you want to expand further on expansion of the capacity at the plant, we can. Okay? So what we did with this plant is that we provide a cheap entry to Mazda Japan to do the business in the ASEAN region. As you know, ASEAN region is a very protective market, because that's why we have this AFTA, which is ASEAN Free Trade Agreement, so that cars produced locally, as long as it's got 40% local content, you can export it to the other regions in this ASEAN at zero import duty. Okay, so we provide a so-called like a tariff and non-tariff barrier. Tariff barrier means import duty is zero. Non-tariff is excess entry, right? Like in Malaysia, if you want to bring in car, you cannot simply bring in car in Malaysia. We have AP. AP means approved permit. In Malaysia, in the last week or so, obviously you all have read about this open APs and so on and so forth. So normally, traditionally, we have open AP and franchise AP. Franchise AP is people like us. Means we have a franchise, we can apply for franchise AP to bring in cars from Japan. Okay? For open AP, it's for those cars between 2 and 5 years old, right? And it's only open to Bumiputra, 100% Bumiputra owned companies. So obviously, if you read the papers last week, there's 36 or 38 new ones out of the 164 Bumiputra that had this open AP. And it's normally 5% of the total industrial volume. So if the industrial volume is 600,000, 5%, you have 30,000 open AP, and then you have 5% franchise AP. So for us, we are part of the 26 to 27 distributors in Malaysia vying for that 30,000 so-called franchise AP. But now the government said that you can apply more on a case-by-case basis if you utilize all. Same applies for open AP, okay? So in this instance, we have a plant within the plant, okay? Mazda Malaysia built these 3 facilities. This facility was built in 2013, 2014. It's called a body shop. So in the plant, normally there's an A shop, B shop, C shop. C shop, right? A shop is a body shop. B shop normally is referred to the paint shop or ED, the electricity dipping plant. And then C shop is the trim and final. So we have an A shop here, body shop, where the welding takes place for the body of the car. And then it's pushed to this paint shop. And then it will go to the trim and final where all the tires, batteries, the seats, the dashboards all be assembled in the trim and final. So this is actually a big football field that we took over. Of course, we gave them another football field somewhere else, somewhere here. So this 3 shop invested by Mazda Malaysia for about 200 million ringgit. So we provide a decent cheap entry cost to the Malaysian market and also to the ASEAN market. Just for example, Mazda Japan built a Mexican plant for the North American market at a cost of $400 million US. But of course, the capacity is about 130,000 versus our capacity of 30,000. Okay, but the volume is not there, so no point going to spend a lot of money for a volume that's not there. So we do on a step-by-step basis. Okay, now this one here are all the old Intercom facilities. This is the old Intercom body shop. This is the paint shop with the ED. They call it electrolysis dipping plant for anti-rust, for the whole car submerged. And this is the trim and final. Okay, and these are all BMW. BMW the government has accorded BMW special status. So they bring in the cars painted body. Okay, what we call SKD, semi-knockdown. Okay, because they say that if you don't give them, they will do it in Thailand. So it's like a blackmailing Malaysian government So anyway, this is not our competitor. So they only do at this area, trim and final, and they're holding. Yeah, they got nothing to do with this part. This is very tedious part. Not many people want to do because a lot of work. All right, but we, from the start, we want to do a full, completely knockdown CKD program in Malaysia to benefit all our vendors, which is what the government wants. A lot of other companies, they try to circumvent this, and try to cheat the government, but we don't, because we want to be a sustainable, maintainable, long-term business going forward. So any government comes into play, we are not concerned because we comply with the national automotive policy. Okay. Today, as we speak, we have 7 joint ventures of master vendors with local vendors to provide us the support for this CKD program. Okay. So if you look at the volume, we have grown quite substantially. If you look at the volume that we did in 2017 and 2018, from 9,000, over 10,000 to 16,000, it's because of the zero GST that the government imposed from June to August. Obviously, it came as a very big surprise to the car industry. A lot of car industry could not react fast enough because, a CKD program takes a long time. It's not like selling coffee where, you just make another 10 cups. CKD program, you can't. It's based on 3 months actual and 3 months forecast. Okay? So, fortunately, we benefited is because we're supposed to send our cars to Iran, okay, in November last year. So what we did was we negotiated with Master Japan that to redirect that volume to the Malaysian market. Because we are the first car company that came out with a statement saying that we will absorb the SST once it's implemented on the 1st of September. Because we know, our management knew, once the SST comes into effect, the car sales will tank. For sure, it tanked by 45%. The volume just dropped because there's no more support from the government. So a lot of fund managers and analysts are worried about the impact it will have on our profitability because we're going to absorb this high imposition of sales tax. But fortunately, because of the absorption, our volume shot up. We had about 8,000 bookings. We only do about 1,000, 2,003. We cannot satisfy all the customers. So we did what we can. So there was an incremental volume of 20-30%. That's about all on a month-to-month basis. So the government did us all a favor, especially those CKD players. In the past, the calculation of the sales tax is based on a transfer pricing from the plant to the distributor. Okay, you just pay a straightforward 10% tax. It's called sales tax. Okay, you pay the government. But now, what the government did was, because they want to show to the public after voting them in, it says that all the prices must come down, including car. So what they did was, instead of this 10% on this straight transfer pricing, whatever we localize in the Malaysian market, right? You can deduct that particular portion against the transfer pricing. And then you apply 10% on the net impact. So instead of say, paying 8,000, 9,000 per car absorption into my margin, I only absorb half, which is about 4,000, 5,000. So we were trying to mitigate that by telling the people, don't worry, we have a way to make back our margin by clawing back the incentives we give to our dealers. Normally, we don't give our dealers big margin. Because they give them big margin, they'll probably throw away and give away to customers anyway. So we don't. We want to educate them and monitor them to ensure that we have an orderly marketing of all cars. Because our cars are not going for cheap. So you look at the papers nowadays, some of the other Japanese car makers, 5,000 off, ang pao, big ang pao, We don't do that. Because that's not a premium player should be doing anyway. So we don't want to follow that path, Because can you imagine, if you buy a car today and tomorrow it's down by 5,000, you'll be very upset as a customer, Because we don't do that, We sanction even our dealers who do that. So by clawing back, every 3 months we have a volume incentive. We have a 6-month incentive. By clawing that back and by not advertising, why we need to advertise? We have 8,000 bookings. I can't even deliver. And then still put on advertisement in the newspaper, which probably get lost because nowadays there's so many advertisements in the papers. So we don't do that as well. So by clawing that back, we probably can recover, some of our SST, the sales tax that we're absorbing. But now, because of this so-called windfall by the government, not just us, but all the other players as well, right? For CKD, who contribute to the nation building, contribute to the vendor scheme, benefited. So actually, our margin remained intact. That's what I'm trying to say, And with additional volume, that's why we have 2 record quarters of profits, Same with the other players, okay? So that is a good thing to have going forward. So if you look at my business from 2009 or 2008, we started 1st of April, April Fool, 1st of April, 2009. We have not lost money in a single year. Our volume has been growing substantially over the years. Today, as we speak, we have close to 100,000 cars on the road, roughly, right, by end of April. So that's a lot of cars on the road. Our car come with 3-year free service maintenance program and 3 years free warranty. Okay? It's free, totally free. You don't pay a single cent. Okay? So we look after you for 3 years. This is what we call customer retention. This is what we want to do. We don't want to advertise in the paper saying how good our car is, blah, 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 But actually, you don't walk the talk. When customer come for servicing, come for, look at the showroom there, I think all run down, So we don't do that, right? We rather go by word of mouth, taking care of our existing customers, providing them the best of service, This is how we want to sell our car, okay? So that year, when our volume came down, it's because of our run-out model of our CX-5. That's how our volume came down. But our profitability still remain. We want to be a big volume player. We want to be sustainable volume, doing around 20,000 thereabouts, with decent margin. And we will continue to make money. And that's the reason why, since listing in 2013, we have continued to pay dividends every quarter. And if at the end of the year, we don't need the money that we have sitting in our bank account, we pay a big special dividend, okay? So currently, we're sitting of close to $500 million cash pile, right? So with a lot of cash, there are a lot of things you can do with it. I can pay special dividend, and do share buyback. That will increase my earnings per share. So these are options available to us. But it's an option lah. I still got to get my board's approval, okay? So this is the total vehicle sales in the Philippine market. Now, as you know, Philippine market is in a bit of a border last year because they increased the excise tax for all products, not just cars, even right down to basic necessity like cooking oil, rice. So it's impacted the economy, basically. Because Duterte wants to increase the excise tax to fund all his infrastructure projects that he has got in mind. Like, for example, the railway from Clarke Quay to Makati, the highways to ease congestion, So in the future, it all goes well for the Philippine economy because a lot of things is ticking along. With 105 million people, how we wish Malaysia has, maybe 60, 70 million people. The consumption will be huge, So they were actually going on a fast pace. If you look at the volume, we're going at a fast pace, This one, everybody buying before the trading tax came into effect on 1st of January last year. Then, of course, it dropped. But Philippines, to us, is an okay market. We've been making money since day one, since 2013, January 2013. Right? We've been making some pretty decent amount of money. Our investment cost is only $3 million US, our 60%. At that time, it's 3.1. So it's only 9 million ringgit. Last year, we paid ourselves about 18 to 20 million dividend to all the shareholders. So actually, we got back our money. So now we are just biding our time over there to ensure that we're still relevant. So in the next few years, when the economy picks up, we can benefit a lot, especially with some new models which is suitable for the Philippine market. Okay? So they're looking at the 7-seater SUV and a new pickup truck, which Mazda is developing with Isuzu Japan. Okay? That is what we are looking forward to. So in the meantime, we have only 50 people working in the Philippine market, no more, no less. So the more sales I do, it will just go straight to my bottom line. Okay? So you're still making money, but not as big as these 3 years. But it's not bleeding us, basically. So these are network. We have 13 of these trade centers of our own. And we have 72 dealers nationwide. And in Philippines, we have 21 full-fledged 3S center. Full-fledged. So we have upgraded all our trade center in the Philippine market. But Malaysia, unfortunately, we still got pockets of shop lots here and there. Because those days, we want to grow business fast. To grow business fast, you actually have to expand and send out to as many places as possible. So like, for example, small towns like Selangor, we cannot have a full-fledged trade center. The volume does not justify that. Okay? So these are corporate headquarters. This corporate headquarters was actually launched by the previous president of Mazda. So Mazda deemed fit to send the president to launch a showroom. No? Normally, president of a car company don't launch any showroom because they're opening one every day, all over the world. But they deem it very important that they come. And not only that, the current president was here 2 months ago in January. He was very impressed with what we have done for Mazda, okay? What they have achieved in the ASEAN region, and the cheap entry cost we gave them for the ASEAN, for Malaysia, especially Malaysian. Because before we came in, they were actually losing money in Malaysia. They were doing about 300-400 units a year, right? So motor show, they have to subsidize 1-2 million. But today, they don't subsidize anything. We say we don't need anything from you, but just give me nice, good products going forward. That's all we ask. And CKD program, because that's where the money is. CBU, short term, don't make much, So this is another showroom. And these are our body repair shop facilities in Glemery. We can handle 100 cars over there, okay? So anybody crash, come in, and as long as you buy the insurance from Sompo, right? We have understanding with Sompo. We will repair your car. Anything less than 20,000, we repair, take photo, shoot to Sompo. They will repair for you. Then within a week or so, you can get the car out. This is the fast service, because some of you may have experienced, when you crash a car, you have the adjuster going in, fight the price, say this is not my knock, this is my previous knock, whatever knock, Sompo just accept. So this is additional benefit, additional thing that we do for our customers. We want to be premium player. You have to be ahead and do differently compared to your competitors. This is Johor one. See how beautiful our 3S centers are in the Philippine market? See, all of them 3S, beautiful centers. So we tell them to wait lah. Cars are coming. This is the assembly plant in Inocom. This is the SkyActiv technology that Mazda has embraced after they divorced from Ford about 10 years ago. Previously, all the cars are all Ford engine, Ford this, Ford that, you know. But Mazda, being Mazda, they have to be different. They have to be relevant in today's business because they know they are not a big player. So they cannot compete in terms of cheap cars, you know, maintaining the same old engine for 20, 30 years. So that's why they came up with the SkyActiv technology, which all encompassing the chassis, the platform, including the internal combustion engine. Okay, Mazda has got one of the best internal combustion engine. Okay, which they call it SkyActiv G and SkyActiv D. D for diesel, G for petrol. Of course, they won a lot of accolades in all over the world. You know, CX-5 top 3 finalists. You know, and then of course this is the RX Vision. Won the best concept car of the year last year, right? Everyone asking me, can I get this car with the rotary engine? But this is not going to be cheap, you know, and the volume does not justify. But I'm not saying no, it may happen, but we don't know when. So this is Mazda G-Vectoring. Also, all our cars come with G-Vectoring in terms of stability control. This is only you find in very expensive car, premium car, okay? We have it in all our cars as a standard, okay? And all our Mazda comes with NCAP rating 5-star from Europe, not ASEAN NCAP, okay, from Europe. Except BD50, the pickup truck. This is the all-new SkyActiv Mazda 3. This will be the first car rolling out from the 7th generation product. Currently, we are in the 6.5 generation. This is the 7th generation, okay? So we are not going to do Mazda 3 CKD program anymore. We stopped as of last month, okay? Because the previous model is just for the Malaysian market. And because it's just for Malaysian market, the volume is small. So there's no economies of scale. So when there's no scale, the cost component inside there is very expensive, right? And margins low compared to our normal standard, right? So we decided with Mazda Japan that, look, we're not going to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to replace it with the all-new CX-8, okay? Now, before that, I will show you this all-new CX-30 that was launched in Geneva Motor Show 2 weeks ago. This is the all-new CX-30. This is the second of the 7th generation product, okay? I'll tell you the story how this model come about shortly. This is in between the CX-3, current CX-3 and the CX-5. This is the all-new CX-8, which we're going to launch in September of this year as a full CKD program for Malaysia and for the ASEAN market. The beautiful part of this car is it comes in 232 configuration and 222 or 222 with a center console. So if you 222 without a center console, it's quite easy access to the last row. And it seats 7 people comfortably. Okay, it's not a child last row for child seat. It's a full-fledged adult. We believe that this model is good for ASEAN. So in Malaysia, we are looking at about 300 odd units a month. But Thailand is very bullish about this model. They're looking at about 700. And of course, Indonesia and of course our Philippine market. Another 200-300. So we're talking about 1,200 to 1,300 a month in terms of volume. Remember I told you about Mazda 3? Only 2,000 a year. This is 1,200, 1,300 a month. So obviously, master vendors in Malaysia will be very happy to do this project rather than the master 3 because they can recover. So, for example, a master vendor invested 2 million on a jig and mold for certain parts, right? But you divide by over 2,000 or even 6,000 over 3 years, it's only 6,000. But this, we're talking about 30,000, right? So obviously, this is more cost effective. So that will bring my car cost down as well. So I can have, it's up to us whether we give back margin to the customer or we keep together with Master Malaysia, okay? So there's a lot of potential. Of course, it will eat a little bit into my CX5 best-selling model, but combined, it still be more than the normal 700 odd units that I'm selling now. It's probably about 800-900 units, okay? Based on a higher margin vehicle. So investment cost by Master Malaysia will also be very, very small because this model is an extension of the CX5. So the front part up to the passenger and the driver's seat is all the same. Only from the back, middle row to the back, all new. So investment cost for Master Malaysia will be low, so the recoverability in terms of the profitability and initial investment will be very fast. Because this is our Master 6, Master 6 again. This is our current CX3. Of course, this is our premium model, the CX9. That's the only one to come with a 2.5 turbo engine. Now, this engine will be available in the best-selling model CX5 in September this year. Okay, it's very powerful. Right? We will probably replace the 4x4 turbo diesel with this top of range 2.5 turbo onto the CX5 4x4. So this is additional variant, and it will be available in September together with launching of our CX8. Of course, this is our top-selling roadster in the world. Top-selling roadster in the world. They sold more than 1 million units since inception about 26, 27 years ago. It's a fun car to drive. Not that expensive, but fun. So this is our financial quarter. I mean, we make a lot of money, pay a lot of dividend. I think this is all quite boring. Our revenue, almost 2 billion already, going to be our record. Our last record was this figure here. We only 9 months, we already almost reaching this figure. So it'll be a record. This is the spread between Malaysia and Philippine revenue, And these are our models sold. As you can see, CX5 is our top volume seller. CX5 here, 3003. Quarterly is by quarterly, 9 months. Philippines, suffering a bit, but still making money. So not an issue. It's 9 months sales, We've done about 12,500 from Malaysian market, which is here. So we'll probably end up with about close to 16,000, thereabouts. And this one, 2005, we'll probably end the year with about close to 3,001, 3,002. So profit with tax, made a lot of money, pay a lot of dividends, same here. This Master Malaysia's number, you see the revenue has shot up. Profit also shot up a lot, for the 3 months. But of course, you won't not repeat like that, going forward. As long as you make about 30 million, 25, 30 million, we are happy already, because the contribution to us is about 10, 12 million. It's very good. 9 months result, look at the profit. 121, You know what's the initial investment only? The initial investment is only 50 million, So the 200 million that they put in the plan is actually internally generated funds to support the infrastructure. So they're very happy with the performance. In fact, 2 years ago, they wanted to buy my 10%. I said, no, you keep at 70%. I'm happy with my 30%, you know. Intercom is also making a lot of money. Intercom, look at Intercom's profit, almost double, you know. So the plant owner also happy. Sam Darby also should be happy. Because before we came in, they're actually losing money. Negative. So it's a win-win for everybody in the whole ecosystem. Remember I told you, everybody must win. Master Japan win, Intercom win, we win. Of course we win. Our shareholders will win. Stakeholders, vendors win, you know. Government also win. You know why? Because the government have a lot of cash. Mahathir said must make a lot of money. So we're making a lot of money to pay the government, you know. And what about the taxes that we pay in terms of cars that we build at the plant? We are the biggest taxpayer in the state of Kedah. Biggest. Bigger than all this high-tech, including tech, whatever tech they have there, you know, all losing money one. So every year we have a certificate from the custom department in the state of Kedah. And we provide 3,000 over jobs, you know, in the middle of nowhere. Just now you saw the plant, it's in the middle of nowhere. Actually, literally it's in the middle of nowhere, all surrounded by plantation, you know. So today as we speak, there's 3,000 old people working there. And what about the vendor? They're supplying the product to us. There's another 5,000. Right? So the government win, actually create employment. So that's why Mother is hell-bent on the third national car. Because transfer of technology. But we believe that we are actually doing it already. We actually don't need the third national car. Because we believe in training. TVET, we already started our TVET 6-7 years ago. Every quarter, we provide education to 100 students from the poor villages around Klang Valley. And we give them training. We even teach them English. Every quarter, 100 units. So every year, now we have about 400-500 people graduating every year. So we send them to all our outlets and to our third-party dealers to service Mazda cars. After 3 years, not only that, we pay them allowance, you know, and with English Q at night classes, so that they can diagnose the car because all the software is in English. So this is what we're giving back to the country. Okay, we're not just doing this thing and don't do anything to support the nation building. We are doing all this to support and to upgrade also all our people, all our sales consultants, all our technicians to be professionals. Okay, so we have one training school, TVET, technical vocational education training, and we have one in Penang also. So every year to churn out 400-500 people, you know, we pay them allowances. So you can see all the smiley faces of the parents when they come, when the kids graduate. We invited them to our a club, you know, free dinner. You know, the parents were happy taking their certificate. So after 3 years, they get a master apprenticeship certificate, okay? And not only that, we make sure we align with the Institute of Motoring in the UK. So they also get a diploma, you know. So with diploma and our certificate, actually they can go anywhere. They don't have to actually have to work for Mazda. They can go all over the world because they know English and they have these technical skills that we've given them. So this is what we do. Of course, we also must make money first so that we can support them, right? And also we also have a Mazda Medicare fund for the terminally ill cancer patients and for dialysis, those people on dialysis. You know. So every year we donate between $500,000 to $1 million. And management must, whatever we get contribution from the staff, from the vendors, the management will pay the other half. Okay? So this is another way of giving back to society. So this is what Mazda is all about. Today we have close to 1,000 employees in our whole group ecosystem, not including Mazda Malaysia and also Incom. They have their own separate staffing. So now, if I want to export more, because currently the two programs I have, CX5 and CX6, my expansion plan in the Unicom is already fully utilized. So if I want to increase this export, I have to invest. in another paint shop and ED. Whereas the current ED, we call it electricity tipping plant, is a very old plant by Intercom, those days, 30 years already. So coming back to this CX30, which I mentioned earlier on, this is the model we're looking at, but we have not got approval yet. But we are lobbying very hard to get a CKD program. CKD program is where we can make a lot of money, we can increase the volume, the export, and then help our local vendors also to supply the supply chain. So if you want to do the 50,000, just dedicated Mazda production, we have to invest in another 100 over million. A new paint shop with the latest technology in Intercom. The land, not an issue. Plenty of land, okay? So we are lobbying very hard, and we hope the government will support in our activities, because this is what the government wants. So today, as we speak, we are the biggest exporter of cars from Malaysia. We are the biggest in the last 3 years, okay? Last year was our record. 11,280 units were exported to whole of ASEAN, except for Vietnam, Singapore, and Brunei. So we are doing what the government wants us to do. And the year before we did 6,000, and the year before we did 4,000. So every year we're increasing. So with CX8, normally this one will increase further, you see. So we also help the government in terms of balance of payment. Because for the umpteen years already, for the last 30 years, we've been importing cars from ASEAN. Cheap cars. Don't mention name lah, from Indonesia, right? Which quality, very low, to take advantage of no need ASEAN so-called high expectation. Mazda cannot. That's why my car cannot be cheap. It's one standard for the world, which is NCAP rating 5-star. When you buy a Mazda car, you buy a fantastic car with good safety features and design, and latest in technology. Not the old technologies that some other car has, the name they used before, okay? So we are trying to do what we do, what we can, and Mazda is very supportive, and hopefully we can, gather more and more security program from Mazda Japan. Because for the first time in their life, they see how much money there is to be made in the Malaysian market. Because don't forget, it's the concession given by the government. That's how we can make the money to reduce our car prices to be affordable for the Malaysian consumers. But of course, the government win also, like I mentioned, we pay more taxes, Otherwise, we would not have this volume. If we had gone back, we had not have this volume, we wouldn't have made this type of money. But now, the government, we pay a lot of corporate taxes every year for the last 11 years. We pay a lot of excise tax and GST before that, and now, of course, SST. Okay? So we are contributing now, basically. And we hope that the government, the new automotive policy is very investor-friendly. But hopefully the new government run as fast as us. Because they take a time on the seat time. But car business cannot wait on, No, every car I sit in the plant, in port, it costs me money, in terms of rental, right? In terms of depreciation, hot sun, tires will go kaput, So that's why, I don't know, for those who have read last month's paper, the MAA president up in arms saying that, the pricing, the government was delayed, cost a lot of money, a lot of heartache, headache, It's true. So we hope the government is conducive, provide a level playing field for everybody, so that nobody take advantage of who you know. It's a matter of what you do according to the new automotive policy. Okay?